My friend, do you not know that your imagination is the womb of all creation? That what you dare to assume is true within yourself, though unseen and unfelt by the senses, must come to pass in the outer world. The universe is not some distant force moving independently of you. No, the universe is your very self pushed out. It mirrors faithfully the inner arrangement of your own consciousness. What you believe, what you feel, what you persist in inwardly assuming, this is what the universe must unfold for you. You have imagined much. You have dreamed, longed, hoped, and perhaps waited. But let me tell you now, the waiting is over when the inner agreement is made. When you consent wholly and deeply to the reality of your desire, the universe rushes forward to honor it. Everything you have ever dared to see in the stillness of your inner sanctuary, everything you have whispered to yourself in the dark, everything you've longed for in silence, it is all gathering now, drawn by the magnetism of your assumption. The law is simple. As within, so without. And the moment you embrace the state of already having, already being, already living the life you have imagined, a shift occurs not out there but in you. And because it occurs in you, it must be reflected out there. The outer is a slave to the inner. The world bends itself to your self-concept. And if your self-concept has risen to match your highest ideal, then the world must bring to you all that corresponds to it. Do not think you must strive and struggle in the world of facts. Do not believe that your good lies at the mercy of people, circumstances, or time. The only thing that matters is this. What are you entertaining in the deep of your soul? What are you saying when no one else is around to hear? What assumptions are you marrying in the secrecy of your imagination? For these assumptions, these inner conversations, these moods, they are seeds, and the universe, being nothing but the outpictured reflection of the subconscious, takes these seeds and brings them to harvest. It does not matter what your senses tell you. They are simply echoing past assumptions. Look not at the shadows, look at the light behind them. Hold fast to the unseen and dare to believe that what you desire is already yours. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. The now is eternal, and if you can feel the reality of your wish fulfilled in the now, the universe has no choice but to deliver. You are not asking, you are not begging, you are not even hoping, you are assuming, and in that assumption, you are claiming dominion over your world. The power does not lie in the stars. It lies in your awareness of being. Whatever you declare yourself to be, silently, persistently, joyfully, the world must shape itself around that declaration. You may think things are taking long, but nothing is ever late. Delay is not denial. All that is happening now, even the seeming slowness, is simply the outworking of your inner alignment. The moment you fully inhabit the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the invisible bridge of incidents begins to form. People you've never met, circumstances you could not have orchestrated. These begin to move in divine sequence. The universe is not trying to figure out how to do it. It already knows. It already has. It waits only for you to consent inwardly. And when you do, it moves swiftly, sometimes subtly, sometimes with great force. But always it moves. For imagination is the only reality, and what you sustain within it must project into form. Your job is not to know how. Your job is only to know that it is so. Feel the joy now. Feel the relief now. Dwell in the end now. And the means will unfold naturally, automatically, as if life itself conspired to bless you. And indeed it does. You were never meant to chase. You were always meant to assume. The universe responds not to effort, but to identity. Be it in your mind, and the world will match it. The moment you say I am, and you feel that statement as truth, all of creation rushes to make it flesh. Everything you've ever imagined is now being drawn to you, not because it was once far away, but because you have awakened to its presence within you. The outer world is not a reality you must convince. It is the echo of what you already believe. So stand still, stand boldly, and know this. The universe is about to deliver not what you merely want, but what you are willing to become. Assume the state. Live in the end. Walk in the feeling of already having. And do not waver, not even when the senses scream otherwise. For the senses do not lead. Imagination leads. And everything follows. Let the old world fall away. Let appearances pass. For something new is breaking forth. Even now, even as you hear these words, It is forming in the invisible. It is molding to your inner speech, your inner knowing, your inner claim. The universe is not delaying. It is delivering, not in theory, not in abstraction, but in the only way it ever has, through your own wonderful human imagination. And so I tell you again, do not look with your natural eyes and say, nothing is happening. Everything is happening. In the silence, beneath the surface, beyond the range of sight, it is moving, it is arranging. The whole universe is conspiring to reflect back to you the very image you have impressed upon it. Every thought sustained, every feeling embraced, every inner conversation rehearsed with faith and conviction. These are the blueprints of your reality. And reality, being obedient, being impartial, must shape itself in the likeness of that which you consistently entertain within. Do you not see how powerful you are? The world does not change first, and then you feel different. No, it is you who must feel different first, and then the world reflects it. The mirror does not smile until you smile. The field does not grow until you plant. The universe does not deliver until you assume. An assumption is not pretending. It is knowing. It is accepting a truth higher than the senses can yet confirm. It is living, moving, breathing from the place where the thing you desire is already yours. You are not waiting on the world. You are not waiting on people, or time, or seasons. You are only waiting on the moment when your inner world no longer contradicts your desire. And when you reach that moment, when your internal state aligns with your imagined ideal, you have crossed the threshold. The bridge is formed. The way is open, and all that is required now is persistence in that state. Do not come down from the mountaintop. Do not descend back into doubt. Guard the sacred image you have conceived. Guard it as a precious secret, as a holy thing known only to you and to the unseen forces that shape this world. Do not explain, do not justify, do not seek permission. The vision is yours, and so is the power to bring it forth. Let others speak of facts, probabilities, and statistics. Let them argue for why things cannot be. That is their world. Yours is governed by imagination, by assumption, by the conviction that what you see inwardly will soon clothe itself in form. Yours is the power to call things that are not seen as though they were, and to know that in calling them, they begin to move toward visibility. What you persist in assuming becomes hard reality. It crystallizes, it gathers density. The shadows yield to the light of belief. That which was once unseen stands before you in tangible form. You must not waver. You must not ask, where is it? You must say, it is done, and live from that done place, that complete place, that finished end. Every moment you spend affirming your desire is already fulfilled adds weight to your assumption. Every time you enter the scene in your mind and feel it real, you are stepping into the vibrational match of your outcome. Do not say, I hope it will happen. Say, it is happening now, and feel it, not vaguely but vividly. See it, hear it, touch it with your mind. Taste the joy, the relief, the satisfaction, and then rest. Rest in that knowing. Rest in the confidence that the universe has heard you, not because you begged, but because you believed. You do not need to force anything. There is no need for strain. The seed never strains to become the tree. It surrenders. It yields. It trusts the invisible intelligence that governs growth. And so must you. Trust that the assumption of your fulfilled desire is the seed, and the outpicturing of it in your world is the inevitable harvest. You do not need to tell others. You do not need their agreement. This is your secret place. What you do in your imagination is between you and the infinite, knowing no resistance, knowing no delay, moves instantly to prepare the way. Every desire you hold is holy. It is not an accident. It is a signal, a call from your deeper self, telling you what you are ready to embody. You do not wish for what you cannot have. You only wish for what you are meant to become. The desire itself is the proof of its possibility. The feeling of wanting is the evidence that the version of you who already has it exists and is calling you upward. When you yield to that desire, not by pleading but by claiming, you become one with it. And that which you are one with must find expression. The Lord does not lie. It does not fail. It does not forget. It brings forth according to kind. So, if you are dwelling in the consciousness of wealth, then wealth must appear. If you are resting in the awareness of love, then love must meet you. If you are walking in the assumption of health, then health must be made manifest. The world may say, be realistic, but what they mean is, be limited. The true real is the unseen. The true power lies in imagination. Everything that now surrounds you began as a thought. Every structure, every opportunity, every relationship, every detail, once invisible, now made visible. And so it shall continue. The world you walk into tomorrow is already being formed by the assumptions you make today. And what are you assuming? What are you claiming in silence? Are you saying I am lacking or I am abundant? Are you saying I am alone or I am loved? Are you saying it's hard or it is unfolding perfectly? The words you whisper to yourself carry creative power. They are not idle. They are commands to the universe. And the universe, being faithful, being precise, must obey. So speak only what you want. Think only of what blesses you. Feel only what expands you. Let go of the need to figure out how. The moment you surrender the how, the way becomes clear. You are not the architect of the path. You are the one who walks it. Your job is not to assemble the pieces, but to hold the vision. Let the unseen forces do the rest. They know better than you the shortest, most harmonious path to your fulfillment. And yet you must be bold. You must be deliberate. You must be unshakable in your inner state. Do not entertain the lesser thoughts. Do not make a home in doubt. If fear rises, do not fight it. Rise above it. Replace it with truth. Speak the word against it. Say no. I know who I am. I am that which I seek. I walk as the one who already has it. When you do this long enough, consistently enough, the fear loses its grip. The old self crumbles. The new self emerges. And with it the new life. The world cannot help but reflect the change you make in consciousness. There is no outer without the inner. The visible must yield to the invisible. So imagine again, and imagine more boldly. Assume greater things. Take your attention off the old story and place it fully on the new one. Live in it. Dwell in it. Sleep in it. Let it become more familiar to you than your past, more real than your current facts. Let it saturate your being until the world has no choice but to mirror it. What you see on the outside is just a shadow. It is not the source is within you. And the moment you turn to that inner source and say, I am what I desire to be, everything begins to shift. The people, the places, the opportunities, they all respond to your state. They cannot help it. It is law. You do not need to hustle. You need only to remain faithful. Keep your mind stayed on the end. Keep your attention on what is lovely, pure, of good report. And if ever you find yourself slipping, if ever you notice doubt or fear or contradiction, do not condemn yourself. Simply return. Return to the image. Return to the knowing. Return to the state. The inner reality is always waiting to be resumed. It does not judge. It welcomes you back each time. And every time you return, you strengthen it, you deepen the groove. You become more identified with the version of you that already lives the life you desire. And soon you forget the struggle. You forget the waiting. You forget the past. For the new you has become so dominant, so alive, so natural, that the world bows to it. And in that moment, everything you have ever imagined begins to break forth, not as a miracle, but as the most natural outcome of your assumption. Not as a reward, but as a reflection. The universe never forgets. It never loses your order. It does not require reminders. The moment you fully accept it as done, the wheels begin to turn. Hold your desire in joy. Rest in the knowledge that it is not only possible, it is certain. For all things are possible to the one who believes, not the one who wishes, not the one who waits, but the one who assumes. This assumption, lived in and persisted in, becomes your dwelling place. And from that dwelling place, your world is made new. Not by force, not by effort, but by alignment, by identity, by the quiet certainty that what you are within must show forth without. So continue with boldness, continue with assurance, continue with joy, for you are not becoming the person who will receive the promise. You already are. You only need to know it and live from it. And as you go on in this inner knowing, you begin to see how everything that once seemed against you was merely a shadow of old thoughts, now dissolving, What once appeared as delay was only time given for you to come into full acceptance of the state you now occupy. The outer world is not punishing you, nor is it testing you. It is teaching you, showing you clearly, moment by moment, what you really believe, what you truly feel, what you've allowed to root in the garden of your consciousness. If you see contradiction, it is not failure, it is feedback. It is the echo of a previous vibration, a prior assumption now passing away. Do not fear it. Do not fight it. Do not affirm it. Instead, return again and again to the inner world you have chosen. Remain faithful to the unseen reality you now claim as yours. For in that faithfulness lies the power to transform not just your circumstances, but your very self. The you who imagined this desire is not the same. You who receives it, the old self must fall away. The limited self, the doubting self, the self that once feared it could not have what it longed for. This self dissolves in the light of your assumption. What remains is the radiant being, who is the fulfillment. The becoming is not something you chase. It is something you allow. You allow yourself to become aware of who you already are. There is no need to control the outer world. When the inner world is ordered, the outer world mirrors that order. When the inner world is lifted, the outer world lifts with it. There is no delay in spirit. There is only the appearance of time while you align. You are not waiting on the universe. The universe is responding to your inner stance. Stand therefore in the feeling that what you desire is already so, and it must come forth. Feel it deeply, not merely in thought, but in tone, in vibration, in feeling. Let it possess you. Let it become so natural to you that to deny it would feel like a lie. That is the secret, to feel it until it feels normal. The moment the desire feels natural, the moment it no longer feels like a distant dream but a present identity, the manifestation is inevitable. The bridge will unfold, events will conspire, things will appear, and you will look back and say, of course, how could it have been any other way? And yet you will know. You will know it came not by chance, not by effort, but by the quiet and consistent assumption of its reality. You will know that you created it, not by fighting, but by feeling, not by chasing, but by claiming. And that knowing will become your power. For if you created this, then you can create more. And you will. And you are. This is not a one-time event. This is not a single miracle. This is a way of life. A life in which you no longer respond to appearances as final, but look within and adjust the cause. A life in which you remember always that the world is a mirror, not of what you wish, but of what you are. So you shift yourself, not your circumstances. You shift your identity, not your situation. You say to yourself, this is who I am now, and the world bends to affirm it. There is no higher power than this. Not because it is loud or forceful, but because it is law, and law does not make exceptions. It operates with precision. If you live in the feeling of lack, even while speaking of abundance, it is lack that will appear. But the moment you feel abundant, truly and deeply, even while nothing yet changes, you have stepped into the new state, and the new state must express itself. You cannot outact your assumptions. You cannot outperform your self-concept. What you truly believe about yourself will always find its way into form. So believe higher, believe bigger, believe now. The universe is not holding anything back from you. It is not a reluctant giver, it is a perfect reflector. It simply waits for you to know, beyond any doubt, that what you have imagined is yours by right of consciousness. And this is the great secret. You do not receive what you want. You receive what you believe you are. The feeling is the prayer. The state is the magnet. The assumption is the cause. When you live in the consciousness of your desire fulfilled, everything necessary for its realization begins to move. The people, the conversations, the opportunities, the shifts, all of it comes into alignment. And yet none of it will surprise you, for you have already lived it inwardly. You have walked that scene in your imagination so many times that it is no longer fantasy. It is memory. You feel it as done. And because it feels done, the world must echo that feeling. The harvest cannot help but appear when the seed has taken root and the soil has been watered with persistence and belief. So I say again, do not ask, where is it? That question is rooted in lack. Ask instead, how fully can I feel it now? And let that feeling become your dwelling place. Let the joy of it wash over you. Let the gratitude of it fill your being, not because you see it yet, but because you know it is yours. And in that knowing, the veil thins, the unseen becomes seen, the bridge is crossed. Even now, as you hear these words, the universe is responding to the signal you are sending. It is not deaf, it is not indifferent, it is alive, conscious, and perfectly aligned with your inner state. So shift within, choose again, speak boldly, feel deeply, and then walk in faith, not blind faith, but the faith of one who understands how this works. You are not at the mercy of fate. You are not the victim of your environment. You are the one who declares the end from the beginning. You are the one who names the thing and watches it come to life. The old story no longer has power over you unless you choose to repeat it. You are not your past. You are not your circumstances. You are your assumption. And that assumption can change in an instant. Do not wait for signs. Be the sign. Let your peace be the evidence. Let your confidence be the proof. Let your inner certainty be the signal that the work is done. For once it is done within, nothing can stop it from appearing without. The time between assumption and manifestation is not delay. It is preparation. It is the world catching up to what you have already claimed. So do not grow weary in the waiting. Remain in the end. Rest in the knowing. Keep your eyes on the invisible, and the visible will reshape itself accordingly. All power is given to the one who knows their own imagination is God in action. All provision flows to the one who understands that their feelings are the creative force behind all things. All doors open to the one who refuses to lower their state no matter what appears, for that one has become immovable in their vision, and the world must conform. Even now, the pieces are coming together. Even now, unseen hands are arranging your good. Even now, answers are arriving. Even now, the very thing you imagined is drawing near. Do not look for signs. Become the one for whom the signs appear. Become the version of you that already has it, and you will see that the world cannot help but respond. For the universe does not delay, it delivers. Not in reaction to begging or pleading, but in perfect obedience to assumption. The life you dream of is not far away. It is here now waiting on your claim. Speak it, feel it, know it, and live as though it were already done, because in truth, it already is. Walk through your days, now with the quiet confidence of one who already possesses what they once longed for. Carry yourself as if the answer has arrived. Move through this world no longer from the place of seeking, but from the place of fulfillment. For your inner world is not theory, it is cause. And the outer world is not command, it is effect. If you master the cause, the effect must obey. That is the law. And the law never fails. Every step you take in the assumption that your desire is fulfilled plants you deeper into that reality. Do not be concerned with what others see or say. They see only your outer shell. But you know what you carry within. And that sacred thing within you, that image, that vision, that word, is not fantasy. It is a promise. It is the seed of your future already alive inside you. Feed it, protect it, nurture it with attention, with conviction, with repetition. You do not need to explain it to anyone. In fact, the more you keep it sacred within, the stronger it grows. The unseen needs no validation from the seen. Keep your vision quiet. Keep your assumption private. Let the roots go deep before the branches ever show. For in the silence, in the secret place of imagination, you shape your destiny, and no one needs to understand it but you. Let the outer world say what it will. Let it offer its opinions, its rules, its probabilities. You are not bound to their expectations. You are not limited by their logic. You are governed by inner law, by the divine principle of assumption. You are not responding to the world. You are directing it. You are not a thermometer that reflects the climate. You are the thermostat that sets it. When you claim, I am, and follow it with the fulfilled state, you release creative power. Not tomorrow, not later, now. In the moment of your assumption, the wheels begin to turn. The timeline shifts. The pattern begins to realign. What you affirm consistently in the stillness of your mind becomes flesh. Do not concern yourself with how long it takes. There is no delay, only divine timing, calibrated perfectly to your belief. And this is the mystery. The very moment you let go of needing it, the very moment you stop looking for signs and simply become the one who has it, you release resistance. You stop blocking the flow. You stop pinching off the blessing with doubt and anxiety. The universe was never withholding. It was waiting for your full agreement. Not verbal agreement, but emotional agreement. Not just the words I believe, but the feeling of belief. It is not enough to say it, you must be it. You must walk as the version of yourself that already lives the reality you've imagined. You must breathe like them, stand like them, speak like them, not to fool the world, but to align with the new identity that creates the new world. And as you persist in this being, your outer world slowly but surely bows to the change. You will find yourself in new places without effort. You will meet people who seem drawn to you by invisible strings. You will encounter opportunities you could never have orchestrated. But none of this will surprise you, because you knew the moment you claimed it. You knew the moment you entered the state. You knew when the old self fell away and the new self took hold. And this new self, this true self, does not waver. It does not ask, is it working? It knows. It rests. It abides. It continues in the end until the end becomes visible. And the outer world, which once seemed stubborn and unmoving, becomes fluid and obedient to your inner vision. There is no force greater than a person who no longer doubts. There is no wall that can stand against the one who has decided, this is who I am now. Not who I will be, but who I am. That shift from future tense to present reality is the very key. You do not hope for it. You claim it. You embody it. And in doing so, you activate the divine machinery that must deliver it. Do not look backward. The old story is over. The past has no claim on you. You are not bound to it unless you keep rehearsing it. Let it go. Every time you tell that old story, you re-enter that old state. But you are not that virgin anymore. You have risen. You have awakened. You are now the virgin who lives in fulfillment, in abundance, in wholeness, in joy. So speak only of what is lovely. Think only of what is beautiful. Feel only what uplifts. Let the tone of your inner world match the tone of your desired reality. For the tones must harmonize before the form appears. It is not the thing itself you are chasing. It is the feeling. Get the feeling right, and the thing must follow. And if ever you slip, and you will do not judge yourself, simply return. Gently, surely, return. That is your power, the ability to redirect attention. Where you place it is what you give life to. Starve the doubt. Feed the faith. Starve the fear. Feed the joy. Do not be casual with your attention. It is the wand of creation. You have already been delivered the answer in spirit. Now your only task is to keep walking as though it is already done. And with each step you draw it closer. With each breath you align more deeply. With each assumption you solidify the new reality. There is nothing more to do, only more to be, and you can feel it, can't you? Even now you can sense that something has already shifted. Even now the old has begun to crumble. Even now what you've imagined has started to press itself into form. The universe has taken your assumption as instruction. The world is rearranging itself. The scene is being set. The script is being rewritten. And your role is to hold the vision. Stay faithful. Stay calm. Stay bold. For the answer is not out there, it is within you. And once you assume it fully, the outside must obey. That is the covenant. That is the agreement. That is the law. And it never fails. Do not concern yourself with appearances. Appearances are but echoes, reflections of prior assumptions, taking their final bow. The world you see around you is the product of yesterday's belief. It is not your enemy. It is your mirror. And once you understand this, you cease trying to fix the mirror. You adjust the face you're showing it. You adjust the self you are being. And as you do, something changes. First within, then without. It is subtle at first. A thought that used to bring you anxiety now brings you peace. A situation that once stirred fear now passes without reaction. And though it may look small, it is not small. For the shift that happens in consciousness is the most powerful shift of all. It sets in motion forces unseen and unavoidable. This is why you are never waiting on the universe. The universe is not running late. It is not confused about your request. It is not negotiating your worth. It has only one instruction to follow, your dominant state. It knows no denial, no hesitation, no opinion. It simply reflects, so if your state has changed, everything must change to accommodate it. You must no longer beg for what you already possess. You must no longer plead for what your inner man has already claimed. Instead, walk in the identity of the one who has received. Walk in the grace of the one who knows they are chosen. Speak not as one in lack, but as one in overflow. Think not from absence, but from completion. This is the highest act of faith, to accept as true that which the senses have yet to report. And here's the mystery. The moment you live from that truth, the senses must eventually conform. The five senses are faithful servants to the master within. They do not lead, they follow. But if you allow them to rule, you fall back into old cycles. You say, I don't see it, and so you feel it's not here. But if you dare instead to say, I am it, before there is evidence, then you create the evidence. Imagination is not a toy. It is the blueprint of reality. Feel it real and the form must come. Don't wait until you get the job to feel successful. Don't wait until you receive love to feel worthy. Don't wait until the bank account grows to feel secure. Feel it now, assume it now, become it now, for once you do, the universe must outpicture what you have inwardly constructed. It may come in ways you didn't expect. It may arrive through channels you never planned, but it will come. The moment you live from the end, the path opens beneath your feet. The road rises to meet you. The people show up. The phone call comes. The door opens, not because you chased it, but because you aligned with it. Do not confuse persistence with effort. Persistence is not struggle. It is faithfulness. It is remaining loyal to the unseen reality, even when everything around you tries to contradict it. It is holding your inner world steady while the outer world reshuffles itself. And though the night may come, though the storm may rage, though the world may doubt, you remain. You remain the one who knows the truth. You remain the one who has already received. You remain the one who walks in the end. And because of that, the promise is sure. The outcome is guaranteed. The fulfillment is inevitable. There is nothing more sacred than your inner speech. Guard it, protect it, let it be only what you desire to see. For your inner conversation is a rehearsal for your outer performance. Speak to yourself in the tone of victory. Call yourself blessed. Tell yourself, this is who I am now. Not once, not twice, but daily, until the new state becomes your dwelling place. And when the world shows you something less, you do not accept it as final. You see it as residue, nothing more than fading shadows of a belief you no longer hold. You bless it, release it, and return to your chosen state, again and again, until the new becomes the only. You must come to the place where the dream feels more real than the delay, where the feeling of fulfillment outweighs the illusion of lack, where the truth you've claimed within becomes more vivid than any condition outside of you. And when that happens, when your inner world becomes more solid than your outer manifestation is but a formality, everything responds to you. Everything bows to your assumption. Not because you are forcing, but because you are allowing. Not because you are manipulating, but because you are being. The state of being is the most magnetic force in the universe. What you are being now creates what you will see next. So what are you being now? Are you being the one who waits or the one who receives? Are you being the one who questions or the one who knows? Are you being the one who tries or the one who is? Choose, and once you choose, persist. If the old state tries to creep in, it's only because it has been practiced, but you have the authority to change it. You have the power to rise. You can say, that was who I used to be, but this is who I am now. And when you say that not with mere words, but with conviction, the old self falls away. And so you must live every moment as though it were already done. You must wake up and feel the gratitude of the answered prayer. You must walk through your home and feel the energy of your new reality. You must sit at your table and feel the richness of the life you have claimed. And if no one else sees it, that's all right. You see it. And that is enough. Because this is not about convincing others. This is not about getting approval. This is not about proving anything to anyone. This is about the sacred contract between you and the divine within you. The secret pact that says, as I imagine it, so it shall be. This is the power you've had all along. Not in the world, but in the word. Not in the evidence, but in the experience of the inner realm. So go now, not in haste, but in peace. Not in desperation, but in certainty. The world may still look unchanged, but you have changed. And because you have changed, the world must follow. It has no choice. It is bound to reflect you. And the you that walks forward now is different. No longer asking when, but declaring now. No longer hoping, but knowing. No longer reacting, but creating. You are no longer a seeker. You are a knower. And because you know, it must show. The universe is not distant. It is not reluctant. It is not undecided. It is poised. It is present. It is listening. And it is responding right now, in this very moment, to the new assumption you hold. Hold it gently. Hold it joyfully. Hold it with reverence, for it is sacred. It is divine. It is the beginning of everything you have ever imagined, now unfolding before your eyes. And so, beloved, rest now in the knowing that it is already done. The universe has heard you, not through pleading, but through your assumption. Not through effort, but through embodiment. You have aligned with the reality your heart has always known to be true. There is nothing more to chase, nothing more to fix. Just be. Be the one who has received. Be the one who walks in fullness. Be the one whose very presence testifies to the unseen becoming seen. Everything has already shifted. Everything has already turned in your favor. The outer signs will follow, for they must. But you walk ahead of them, not behind. You are no longer the echo. You are the origin. You are no longer waiting for the change. You are the change. The universe is not about to deliver. It already has. It's just waiting for you to notice what you've become. Live from that awareness, and all things will be added unto you. Imagination is not just a whimsical escape from reality. It is, in fact, the blueprint that constructs the world we live in. Every invention, every piece of art, and every transformation begins as a spark in the human mind, a vision formed through imagination. Your life, too, is the product of what you imagine. The circumstances you face, the achievements you experience, and even the struggles you encounter are born from the beliefs and images you hold within your mind. The reality you inhabit today was first shaped in the quiet recesses of your imagination. It is the foundation upon which your experiences rest, and by harnessing it with intention and clarity, you hold the power to change not only your present but also your future. The world as you know it begins in your mind. What you imagine, you create. Imagination is more than just a passing thought or a mental escape. It is the foundation upon which your entire life is built. Everything you experience, everything you see around you, first began as an image in your mind. Whether you realize it or not, your imagination is constantly shaping the world you inhabit. It operates as a blueprint, creating the conditions and circumstances that reflect what you think and believe most deeply. This is why understanding the power of imagination is so crucial. It is the gateway to transforming your reality. When you look around at the world, you might think that it is fixed, that circumstances are beyond your control. But this belief is an illusion. The outer world is nothing more than a mirror of your inner world, specifically the images you continuously entertain in your mind. These images, fueled by emotion, gradually take form and manifest as tangible experiences in your life. If you want to change your outer reality, you must first change the images you hold within. Imagination is limitless. It transcends the boundaries of logic, time, and space. In the realm of imagination, you are not constrained by what is considered possible or realistic. Instead, you are free to create, to envision anything and everything. This is why imagination is the blueprint for reality. It gives you the ability to shape your life in ways that defy ordinary expectations. The key, however, is not just to imagine idly, but to direct your imagination consciously toward the life you wish to live. The greatest discoveries and achievements in history were not brought into being by those who accepted reality as it was. Rather, they were made by individuals who imagined something different, something greater, and believed it was possible. They understood that imagination, when combined with belief, creates a force powerful enough to shape reality. What you imagine with conviction is what you bring into existence. But imagination by itself is not enough. you must cultivate the feelings and emotions associated with the reality you desire. This is where the concept of living in the end comes into play. To truly harness the power of your imagination, you must not only visualize your desired outcome, but also feel as though it has already come to pass. This feeling of the wish fulfilled is what bridges the gap between imagination and reality. It aligns your inner state with your external experience, bringing about the changes you seek. Many people believe that hard work, effort, and determination are the only paths to success. While these qualities are certainly valuable, they are not the most important factors in creating your reality. Imagination is far more powerful than sheer willpower because it bypasses the limitations of the physical world. When you rely solely on willpower, you are often met with resistance both from within and from the world around you. But when you use your imagination, you access a higher level of creativity and inspiration that allows you to overcome obstacles without struggle. Imagination opens doors that would otherwise remain closed. It creates opportunities where none seem to exist. It allows you to envision possibilities beyond what is currently visible or tangible. Through imagination, you can create new pathways, attract people and resources, and bring your deepest desires to life. You are not limited by your present circumstances because imagination operates in the realm of infinite potential. Doubt and fear are the greatest enemies of imagination. When you allow negative thoughts to cloud your mind, they weaken the images you hold within, making it more difficult for your desires to manifest. Doubt tells you that your vision is too far-fetched, that you are asking for too much, that it is impossible. But doubt is merely a product of your past experiences, which have no bearing on your future unless you allow them to. Imagination is always stronger than doubt, because it taps into the infinite possibilities of creation. When doubt arises, it is essential to shift your focus back to the vision of your desired outcome. The more you can immerse yourself in the feeling of having already achieved what you want, the more quickly you will see it reflected in your outer reality. One of the most effective ways to maintain a strong connection to your vision is through daily imaginative practice. Just as you would exercise your body to stay in shape, your imagination must be exercised to remain sharp and effective. Each day, take time to visualize your desired reality in vivid detail. Feel the emotions associated with that reality. Experience the joy, the satisfaction, and the fulfillment of having already achieved your goals. The more consistently you practice this, the more naturally it will come to you, and the more quickly your outer world will begin to shift. Imagination is not bound by time. What you visualize today may not materialize instantly, but rest assured it is already in the process of becoming. The seeds you plant in your imagination will grow, sometimes in ways you cannot yet foresee. Trust the process. Trust that what you desire is already on its way to you. When you live from the end, when you consistently imagine yourself as the person you wish to be, your reality will begin to mold itself to match that vision. Patience and persistence are essential in this process. Too often people give up on their vision because they do not see immediate results. But remember, your outer world is a delayed reflection of your inner state. It takes time for your imagination to fully manifest in the physical realm. The key is to remain steadfast, to continue nurturing your vision with faith and certainty, even when it seems as though nothing is happening. You will see the evidence of your imagination come to life. You will notice that the people, circumstances, and opportunities you once envisioned are now part of your everyday reality. It may seem like coincidence or luck, but in truth, it is the result of your deliberate use of imagination. You have always had the power to shape your reality from within, and now by understanding and practicing this truth, you can create a life that reflects your highest desires. Conscious creation is the art of deliberately and intentionally shaping your reality through the power of your thoughts, beliefs, and imagination. Unlike passive existence, where life happens by default, conscious creation puts you in the driver's seat of your own experience. It allows you to direct the energy of your mind to bring forth the reality you desire. The essence of conscious creation is the realization that you are the creator of your life, that your inner world manifests into the outer world, and that by choosing your thoughts with intention, you can transform your entire existence. At the heart of conscious creation is the understanding that everything in your life is a reflection of your inner state. Whether you realize it or not, the thoughts you think, the beliefs you hold, and the emotions you feel are constantly shaping the circumstances and events you experience. Most people go through life unconsciously, reacting to whatever comes their way without understanding the power they hold within. They believe that life happens to them and they are powerless to change it. But conscious creation turns that idea upside down. It empowers you to realize that life is not something that happens to you, it's something you create from within. The first step in conscious creation is becoming aware of your thoughts and beliefs. Many of the thoughts that run through your mind on a daily basis are automatic and habitual, shaped by past experiences, cultural conditioning, and limiting beliefs. These unconscious thoughts often create a reality that is not aligned with your true desires. If you want to create the life you truly want, you must first become aware of the thoughts that are shaping your current reality. Ask yourself, what do I believe about myself? What do I believe about the world? What do I believe is possible for me? These beliefs are the foundation of your current reality, and they must be examined and transformed if you want to create something different. Once you become aware of your thoughts and beliefs, the next step is to consciously choose new ones that are in alignment with the reality you wish to create. This is where the power of imagination comes into play. Imagination allows you to see beyond your current circumstances and envision a new reality. It gives you the freedom to dream, to explore possibilities, and to create a mental picture of the life you desire. But imagination alone is not enough. You must also believe that what you imagine is possible for you. This requires a shift in mindset from doubt and limitation to faith and possibility. Faith is a crucial component of conscious creation. You must have faith in your ability to create the life you desire. This faith is not blind optimism or wishful thinking, but a deep inner knowing that you are a powerful creator. It is the belief that the universe is always working in your favor, and that whatever you can imagine is already in the process of becoming. Faith allows you to hold on to your vision, even when the physical world does not yet reflect it. It gives you the strength to continue creating consciously, even when faced with challenges or setbacks. Another essential aspect of conscious creation is the emotion you bring to your thoughts. It is not enough to simply think about what you want, you must feel it as though it is already yours. Emotion is the fuel that powers conscious creation. When you feel the emotions of having already achieved your desire, you align your inner state with the reality you wish to create. This emotional alignment is what brings your desires into physical form. The universe responds to your emotional state, not just your thoughts. When you feel joy, gratitude, and excitement about your desires, you are sending out a signal that attracts those experiences into your life. One of the biggest challenges people face in conscious creation is overcoming doubt and resistance. Doubt is a natural part of the process because your current reality may not yet reflect your desires. It can be difficult to believe in something that hasn't manifested yet, especially when the evidence around you seems to contradict your vision. But doubt is simply a product of your past conditioning, and it does not have to control your future. The key to overcoming doubt is to continue focusing on your desired reality, even when it seems far away. Trust that what you are creating is already in the process of becoming, even if you can't see it yet. Resistance often comes in the form of limiting beliefs and negative emotions. These are the internal blocks that prevent your desires from manifesting. For example, if you want to create financial abundance, but you have a deep-seated belief that money is hard to come by, this belief will create resistance and block the flow of abundance into your life. To overcome resistance, you must identify and release the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. This requires self-awareness and a willingness to let go of old patterns of thinking. As you release resistance, you create space for new possibilities to emerge. An important aspect of conscious creation is the idea of surrender. While it is essential to be clear about what you want and to focus on it with intention, it is equally important to surrender the how and when to the universe. Many people get caught up in trying to control every detail of how their desires will manifest. But this only creates tension and resistance. Surrendering means trusting that the universe knows the best way to bring your desires to fruition. It means letting go of the need to control the outcome and allowing the process to unfold naturally. When you surrender, you open yourself up to possibilities that you may not have considered and allow the universe to work its magic. Another key to conscious creation is consistency. Creating a new reality is not a one-time event, it is an ongoing process. You must consistently align your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the reality you wish to create. This requires daily practice and discipline. Each day, take time to focus on your desires, visualize them as already accomplished, and feel the emotions associated with their fulfillment. The more consistently you practice conscious creation, the more powerful your results will be. Conscious creation is also about taking inspired action. While your thoughts and emotions are powerful, they must be followed by action. But this action should not be forced or driven by fear. It should be inspired by the vision you hold in your mind. Inspired action feels natural and effortless. It is the kind of action that arises from a place of alignment with your desires. When you take inspired action, you are working in harmony with the universe, and things begin to flow more easily. In the process of conscious creation, it is important to stay open to the guidance of the universe. Sometimes the path to your desires may not look the way you expected. The universe has a way of delivering what you need in ways that you may not anticipate. This is why it is essential to stay flexible and open to the signs and synchronicities that show up along the way. Pay attention to the nudges and intuitive insights that come to you. They are often the universe's way of guiding you toward your desires. Imagination is the key to unlocking potential and manifesting desired outcomes. While willpower is often heralded as the driving force behind success, its power is limited compared to the boundless capabilities of imagination. Willpower focuses on sheer determination, discipline, and effort. It's about pushing through obstacles with force and grit. However, imagination transcends the need for brute force by allowing the mind to envision new possibilities, dream bigger, and tap into the vast creative energy within. Imagination creates a mental blueprint for what is desired and bypasses limitations, offering a more sustainable and effective path to success than relying solely on willpower. The reason imagination often surpasses willpower lies in the fundamental way both operate. Willpower, though effective in short bursts, requires constant effort and drains your mental and emotional reserves over time. It's like a muscle, use it too much, and fatigue sets in. This is why so many people struggle to maintain long-term discipline when trying to change their habits or achieve their goals. They burn out, lose motivation, and eventually give up. Imagination, on the other hand, is regenerative. It fuels you with inspiration and excitement, keeps your mind engaged, and makes the process of achieving your goals enjoyable rather than grueling. When you vividly imagine your desired outcome, you bypass the need for relentless discipline and tap into the deeper, more powerful part of your mind, the subconscious. The subconscious mind doesn't respond to willpower in the same way it responds to imagination. While willpower forces action from a conscious level, imagination works directly with the subconscious, which governs 95% of your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. When you use your imagination to vividly picture a goal, your subconscious starts to believe that it's already true, setting into motion a series of events and actions that align with that vision. This process is often described as the law of attraction, but it's more than just a passive act of wishing. When your subconscious mind fully believes in a vision, it aligns your actions, decisions, and even your environment in ways that make the vision a reality. In this way, imagination leverages the power of the subconscious mind far more effectively than willpower ever could. One key reason that imagination is so powerful is its ability to create emotional resonance with your desired outcome. Willpower often requires you to force yourself to do things you don't necessarily enjoy. It's the mental push you give yourself to work harder, stick to a diet, or grind through a project. But this creates resistance because on some level you're doing something that feels like a struggle. Imagination, on the other hand, makes the process exciting and enjoyable. By vividly imagining the outcome you desire, you generate feelings of joy, excitement, and anticipation. You start to associate positive emotions with your goal, rather than feelings of strain or resistance. This positive emotional energy is what draws your desires toward you and makes the journey toward your goals feel effortless. Imagination also allows you to move beyond the limitations of logic and reason. Willpower often keeps you tied to what seems realistic or achievable based on your current circumstances. You tell yourself, I can only achieve this if I work hard enough, if I sacrifice enough, if I put in enough hours. While this mindset can yield results, it is inherently limiting because it's bound by the present reality. Imagination frees you from these constraints. It allows you to dream of possibilities beyond your current circumstances, beyond what seems logically feasible. It opens the door to innovation, creativity, and unexpected solutions that willpower alone could never conceive of. Imagination is where breakthroughs happen. It's where new ideas, inventions, and realities are born. When you imagine something, you make it possible, even if it seems impossible based on your current situation. Imagination leads to a state of flow, where the effort becomes seamless and actions become intuitive. Willpower often demands that you grind through challenges, creating friction between your goals and the actions required to achieve them. This approach can lead to stress, fatigue, and a sense of struggle. But when you engage your imagination, you tap into a flow state where your actions feel natural and almost effortless. You get into a rhythm where ideas and solutions come to you more easily. You're no longer fighting against the tide, you're moving with it. This state of flow is where true progress happens without the burnout associated with willpower-driven efforts. Willpower relies heavily on control and force, while imagination works through attraction and inspiration. Willpower tries to control circumstances through sheer determination, often creating resistance both internally and externally. You may encounter obstacles or setbacks, and when driven solely by willpower, you'll try to bulldoze through them. But this approach can leave you drained and frustrated, especially if things don't go as planned. Imagination, on the other hand, attracts circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with your vision. Instead of forcing your way through obstacles, you find that the path opens up more easily because you're operating in a state of alignment. You're no longer fighting against external conditions. Instead, you're working with the universe to bring your vision into reality. Imagination also allows you to tap into a wider spectrum of possibilities. Willpower can be rigid and focused on a singular outcome or goal, often leading to tunnel vision. You become so fixated on a specific path or result that you miss other opportunities that may be even better. Imagination, by contrast, opens up the space for endless possibilities. It allows you to explore different avenues, entertain new ideas, and adjust your goals as needed. It's a more flexible, creative, and adaptive approach to manifesting your desires. When you use your imagination, you stay open to the unexpected and remain adaptable to changing circumstances. This flexibility often leads to better outcomes than you initially envisioned. The role of imagination in shaping your identity is another critical aspect of its power. Willpower focuses on external actions and behaviors, what you do to achieve a goal. But imagination shapes who you are at your core. When you repeatedly visualize yourself achieving a goal, you begin to internalize that image. You start to see yourself as the person who has already accomplished that goal, and you begin to act in ways that align with this new identity. This internal shift is far more powerful than simply forcing yourself to take action through willpower. When you change your self-image through imagination, your actions naturally follow. You no longer have to push yourself to work hard or stay disciplined. It becomes a part of who you are. Imagination also gives you the freedom to explore your desires without the constraints of external judgment or limitations. Willpower often comes with a sense of obligation or pressure, either from yourself or others. You feel the need to achieve a goal because you believe you should or because society expects it. But imagination allows you to explore your true desires without the weight of obligation. It lets you dream freely and connect with what you genuinely want, rather than what you think you should want. This connection to your authentic desires is what makes the process of achieving them so much more fulfilling and meaningful. Living in the end is a powerful concept that reshapes how we approach our desires, goals, and dreams. At its core, it's the idea of embodying the state of having already achieved what we want, long before it has physically manifested in our reality. Instead of waiting for the external world to confirm our success or desires, we mentally, emotionally, and spiritually live as though those desires are already fulfilled. This approach fundamentally changes our perception of life and creates a shift in our energy that aligns with our dreams, accelerating their manifestation. When we live in the end, we bypass the uncertainty, doubt, and fear that often accompany our pursuits. Usually people operate from a mindset of "I will be happy" when they put their happiness and sense of fulfillment on hold, awaiting external conditions to align with their desires. Living in the end disrupts this conditional approach. Instead, it calls on you to feel and act as if you have already attained what you seek. By doing so, you bring the emotional and mental state of fulfillment into the present moment, collapsing the gap between desire and realization. The power of living in the end lies in its ability to align your inner world with your desired outcome. It's not just about pretending or wishful thinking, it's about truly feeling the emotions, adopting the mindset, and embodying the energy of someone who already has what they want. This creates a profound shift in your vibration and consciousness. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions begin to align with your desired reality, making it much more likely that you'll take inspired steps toward that goal. Our beliefs shape our reality, and living in the end rewires those beliefs. When we focus on what we lack or what we don't yet have, we reinforce the reality of lack. If you constantly think, "I don't have enough money, I'm not successful," or "I haven't found love," your subconscious mind absorbs these thoughts and reinforces them as truths in your life. But when you shift to living in the end, you replace those limiting beliefs with new ones. "I am abundant, I am successful, I am loved." These new beliefs signal to your subconscious that your desired outcome is already your truth, and the subconscious begins to act accordingly. Living in the end is not about ignoring reality or denying the present circumstances. Instead, it's about choosing to focus on the internal experience of already having your desire fulfilled, which influences your perception of external circumstances. For example, if you're working toward financial abundance but are currently struggling, living in the end means cultivating the feelings of financial freedom now. It means making decisions as someone who is financially abundant. This shift in mindset transforms the way you handle money, opportunities, and even challenges, ultimately guiding you toward the financial reality you want to create. Another critical aspect of living in the end is the importance of faith. It requires trusting the unseen and believing in the power of your imagination and intention. Often people lose faith when they don't see immediate results or when external conditions seem unchanged. Living in the end requires persistence, even when the physical evidence hasn't yet caught up with the inner vision. The physical world is simply a reflection of your past thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. It may take time for your new mental state to manifest outwardly, but by consistently living in the end, you hold fast to your desired reality and trust that it will materialize in due time. The process of living in the end also helps eliminate the resistance that often blocks the manifestation of our desires. Resistance comes in many forms: doubt, fear, impatience, and attachment to specific outcomes. When you're attached to how or when something will manifest, you create tension and anxiety. But living in the end releases that attachment because you're already living as though your desire has been fulfilled. There's no need to worry about how it will come to pass because in your mind it already has. This relaxed state of certainty removes the resistance and allows the universe to flow more freely, delivering the desired outcome in the best possible way. Living in the end also shifts the focus from external validation to internal fulfillment. Often people chase goals because they seek validation from others or society. They want to prove themselves or gain recognition for their achievements. But living in the end shifts the emphasis from external approval to internal satisfaction. When you already feel successful, loved, or abundant within yourself, there's no need for outside validation. This inner fulfillment radiates outward, attracting the external success that matches your inner state of being. It's a powerful way to break free from the cycle of seeking approval and instead create a life that is truly aligned with your deepest desires. In essence, living in the end is about becoming the version of yourself who has already achieved what you want. It's about embodying that future self, now thinking like them, feeling like them, and acting like them. This creates a vibrational match with the reality you want to create, drawing it into your experience. By living in the end, you transform your relationship with time, desire, and action. You're no longer waiting for external circumstances to change, you're creating those changes from within. It's also important to remember that living in the end requires patience and persistence. You may not see immediate changes in your external world, and that's okay. The key is to maintain your internal state of fulfillment and trust the process. Doubt may creep in at times and challenges may arise, but by continually returning to the feeling of already having what you want, you strengthen your alignment with that reality. This concept can be applied to any area of life, whether it's love, career, health, or personal growth. If you desire a loving relationship, live as though you're already in that relationship. Cultivate feelings of love, appreciation, and connection within yourself. If you desire career success, live as though you've already achieved it. Think, feel, and act like the successful version of yourself. In doing so, you bring the energy of your desired outcome into the present moment, and the universe responds accordingly. Living in the end is about trusting the power of your imagination and belief. It's about realizing that your internal state creates your external reality. By embodying the emotions, thoughts, and mindset of someone who already has what they desire, you draw that reality to you. It's not a passive act of wishing, but an active process of becoming the person you need to be to attract the life you want. Overcoming doubt is one of the most crucial steps in manifesting your desires and living in alignment with your goals. Doubt acts as a barrier between your current reality and the future you wish to create. It whispers thoughts of uncertainty, telling you that what you desire may not be possible, that you are not worthy, or that the steps you are taking won't lead to the outcome you seek. In order to manifest the life you want, overcoming doubt is essential. Because doubt not only weakens your belief in yourself, but also signals to the universe that you don't truly believe in your desires. Doubt often stems from past experiences, failures, or disappointments. When something didn't work out the way you had hoped, it can plant a seed of uncertainty in your mind. This seed can grow into a full-blown belief system where you expect things not to go your way. The key to overcoming doubt is recognizing that your past does not define your future. Every moment is a new opportunity to create a different outcome, and holding on to past failures only perpetuates a cycle of self-doubt. One of the most effective ways to overcome doubt is through self-awareness. You need to become conscious of the moments when doubt creeps into your thoughts. Pay attention to the inner dialogue that questions your abilities or dismisses your dreams as unrealistic. These thoughts often occur subconsciously, and they can influence your actions and emotions without you even realizing it. By becoming aware of these thoughts, you can start to challenge them. To challenge doubt, you must replace it with thoughts of certainty, trust, and faith in your vision. This doesn't mean you should deny the presence of doubt altogether, acknowledging it as part of the process, but rather, you must choose not to entertain it. Instead, replace doubtful thoughts with empowering ones. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "What if this doesn't work out?" replace it with, "I trust that everything is unfolding for my highest good." This shift in mindset helps you redirect your focus from fear to faith. Another important aspect of overcoming doubt is building a strong belief in yourself and your ability to manifest your desires. Doubt often arises from a lack of confidence or a sense of unworthiness. You may doubt your ability to create the life you want, because deep down, you don't feel deserving of it. Overcoming this form of doubt requires inner work to build self-worth and a belief that you are worthy of your desires. This can be achieved through affirmations, self-love practices, and surrounding yourself with positive influences that reinforce your sense of worthiness. Visualization is another powerful tool in overcoming doubt. When you visualize your desired outcome, you immerse yourself in the feeling of already having achieved it. This creates a sense of certainty within you because your mind begins to accept the imagined outcome as a real possibility. Visualization helps you bypass doubt by allowing you to experience the emotions of success, fulfillment, and happiness in the present moment. The more you practice visualizing your desired reality, the less room doubt has to take hold. Living in the present moment also helps in overcoming doubt. Often doubt arises when we project our fears into the future, worrying about things that haven't happened yet. We start imagining all the ways things could go wrong, and this feeds our doubt. By grounding yourself in the present moment and focusing on what you can do right now, you reduce the power of these future-based fears. You can't control everything that happens in the future, but you can control your thoughts, emotions, and actions in the present moment. When you focus on the now, doubt loses its grip because it thrives on future uncertainties. Another strategy for overcoming doubt is to take small, consistent actions toward your goals. Doubt often paralyzes people into inaction because the gap between where they are and where they want to be seems too vast. But by breaking your goals down into smaller, manageable steps, you can build confidence with each action. Every small win adds to your belief in your ability to achieve your larger goals, and this gradually diminishes doubt. The more you see progress, the less room doubt has to exist. Surrounding yourself with positive, like-minded people is also essential for overcoming doubt. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your beliefs and attitudes. If you spend time with people who constantly doubt their own abilities or criticize your dreams, it becomes much harder to overcome your own doubt. Conversely, when you're surrounded by individuals who believe in themselves and support your vision, their energy lifts you up and reinforces your belief in your abilities. Seek out a supportive community or mentors who have already achieved what you aspire to and can offer guidance and encouragement. It's important to recognize that doubt is a natural part of the human experience, especially when you're aiming to achieve something significant. Everyone experiences doubt at some point, and it's okay to feel uncertain or fearful. The difference lies in how you respond to that doubt. Successful people don't let doubt control their actions or derail their progress. Instead, they acknowledge it, understand it, and move forward despite it. Overcoming doubt doesn't mean it will never appear again, but it does mean that you won't allow it to dictate your actions. In moments when doubt feels overwhelming, remind yourself of past achievements. Reflect on times when you overcame challenges or succeeded despite initial uncertainty. This serves as a powerful reminder that you are capable of more than you may realize. Every time you face doubt and move forward anyway, you strengthen your resilience and your ability to navigate future uncertainties. Another critical component in overcoming doubt is trusting the process. Manifestation and personal growth often take time, and it's easy to doubt when results aren't immediate. However, the universe operates in its own time, and the seeds you plant today may take time to bear fruit. When you trust that everything is unfolding as it should, you free yourself from the need for immediate validation. Trust that the actions you take, combined with your inner work, are moving you toward your desired outcome, even if you can't see the results yet. Overcoming doubt also involves letting go of the need for control. Often we doubt because we want to know exactly how and when things will happen. We crave certainty, and when we don't have it, doubt creeps in. Letting go of the need for control allows you to trust in the flow of life. You may not have all the answers, and that's okay. What matters is that you maintain your belief in your vision and stay committed to your path, even when the path is unclear. Sustained imagination is the practice of consistently holding a clear and vivid mental picture of your desires until they manifest into reality. It is the continuous, deliberate use of your imagination to shape your circumstances, experiences, and future. While many people may experience fleeting moments of imagination or daydreams, sustained imagination goes beyond this. It is the persistent focus on a desired outcome, accompanied by the emotions and sensations of having already achieved it, until that vision is realized in the physical world. Imagination is a powerful tool, but its true potential is often untapped because most people don't hold on to their visions long enough for them to manifest. Sustained imagination requires mental discipline, a high level of focus, and the belief that what you imagine can indeed become your reality. It's not just about daydreaming or wishful thinking, it's about consistently dwelling in the feeling of your desire fulfilled, despite any external circumstances that may seem contradictory. This practice bridges the gap between the unseen, imagined world and the physical, experienced world. To understand the power of sustained imagination, it is important to first realize that the mind is the origin of all creation. Every innovation, discovery, or achievement in human history began as a thought, an idea that someone imagined and held on to until it became reality. Whether it's a work of art, a technological advancement, or a personal achievement, imagination precedes creation. Sustained imagination works in the same way. The longer and more vividly you can hold on to your vision, the more likely it is to come into being. The key to sustained imagination is not just visualizing your desired outcome once or twice, but consistently revisiting and reinforcing that mental picture. This involves regularly immersing yourself in the scene of your wish fulfilled, feeling the emotions of success, joy, or fulfillment as if your desire is already present. When you practice this regularly, your mind begins to accept the imagined reality as a fact. Over time, your subconscious mind aligns your actions, decisions, and perceptions with this new reality, guiding you toward the physical manifestation of your desire. One of the most important aspects of sustained imagination is emotion. It's not enough to simply picture your desire, you must feel as though it is already yours. Emotions are the fuel that powers the creative process. When you engage your emotions during your imaginative exercises, you strengthen the connection between your inner vision and the external world. The more vividly you can imagine and feel the experience of your desire fulfilled, the more powerful your sustained imagination becomes. This is because the subconscious mind responds more to emotions than to logic or reasoning. By feeling your desired outcome as though it is already true, you imprint that belief into your subconscious, which in turn influences your actions and circumstances to align with your vision. Maintaining sustained imagination can be challenging because of the distractions and doubts that inevitably arise. Life's external circumstances often conflict with our inner visions, causing us to lose focus or question the possibility of our desires. To overcome these challenges, you must learn to ignore the evidence of your senses when they don't align with your desired outcome. This is where the discipline of sustained imagination truly comes into play. Even if your current reality contradicts what you are imagining, you must remain steadfast in your vision. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to hold on to your imagination, despite external conditions. Another crucial element of sustained imagination is consistency. This means engaging in the process daily, making it a habitual part of your life. You can set aside specific times for visualization, such as during meditation, before bed, or upon waking. These are times when your mind is naturally more receptive to suggestion, and your imagination can operate more freely, without the interference of everyday distractions. By committing to a regular practice of sustained imagination, you reinforce your desires and keep them active in your mind. Sustained imagination also involves having patience and trust in the process. Manifestation often takes time, and the results of your imagination may not appear immediately. It's important not to become discouraged if you don't see instant changes in your external reality. Understand that there is a natural gestation period for everything, and your desires will manifest in their own time. Trust that your sustained imagination is working, even if you can't see the evidence right away. Impatience or frustration can weaken the effectiveness of your imaginative efforts, so maintaining faith in the process is essential. In addition to trust and patience, another key component of sustained imagination is the ability to let go of the how and when it is not your job to figure out exactly how your desires will come to fruition or when they will manifest. Your role is to maintain the vision and the feeling of your desire fulfilled. The universe, or your subconscious mind, will take care of the details. This can be difficult for those who are used to controlling every aspect of their lives. but letting go of the need for control is an important part of the process. When you release the how and when you open yourself up to possibilities and solutions that you may not have considered. Sustained imagination also requires resilience, as setbacks and obstacles are inevitable. There will be times when it seems like your desire is not manifesting, or when life throws challenges in your way. These moments test your faith and commitment to your vision. It is during these times that sustained imagination is most crucial. Rather than allowing doubt or frustration to take over, you must continue to hold on to your vision, trusting that the obstacles are temporary, and that your desired outcome is still within reach. By staying true to your imagination, even in the face of adversity, you demonstrate your belief in your vision's eventual manifestation. It's important to note that sustained imagination is not just about creating tangible results, such as material possessions or external success. It can also be used to create inner states of being, such as peace, happiness, and self-confidence. If you imagine yourself as calm, centered, and self-assured on a consistent basis, your inner world will begin to reflect those qualities, and over time they will manifest in your outer life as well. This is the true power of sustained imagination. It allows you to shape not only your external circumstances, but also your internal reality. The divine promise of transformation is upon you, for Psalm 30:11 declares, "You have turned for me my mourning into dancing, you have loosed my sackcloth and girded me with gladness." These words are not mere poetry, they are a prophecy, a vibration resonating with the truth of the unseen. They whisper to your soul, urging you to prepare, for your time has come. God is about to shift the very axis of your existence. Imagine, if you will, the power of a seed lying dormant in the soil. In the stillness of its weight, nothing outwardly changes. But deep within, unseen by the eye, a divine transformation unfolds. So too is your life. Perhaps you have endured seasons of sorrow, walking through valleys where joy seemed distant. Yet even in those moments, the divine was preparing the soil of your heart, nurturing the roots of your destiny, unseen but certain. This change that is promised, this dance of joy replacing mourning, is not arbitrary. It is birthed through your imagination, your faith, and your unwavering belief in the unseen. God's plans are not random, they are precise and intentional. To align with them, you must prepare your mind as the potter prepares the clay. Do not wait passively, hoping for a miracle to descend. Instead, see yourself already living in the joy you desire, already walking in the fulfillment of the promise. The course of your life is not dictated by external circumstances, but by the consciousness you hold within. When you feel as though life is stagnant, remember that God operates in realms far beyond the visible. Your sackcloth, your mourning, your burdens, these are not your identity. They are the temporary states from which God is lifting you. In their place, He is clothing you with gladness, a garment woven from faith and expectancy. What does it mean to prepare? It means to think, to feel, and to act as though the promise is already fulfilled. Do not dwell on what has been or what appears to be. The past has no power over the promise, and the visible is but a shadow of what is unfolding. Look with eyes of faith, for what you perceive as your reality is but a reflection of your beliefs. Shift your inner world, and the outer will follow. God's timing is perfect, and His ways are beyond comprehension. Yet He invites you to co-create with Him, to step boldly into the promise of a life transformed. As Psalm 30:11 assures us, this is not a distant dream but a present truth, waiting for you to claim it. Your mourning is turning to dancing even now. Your tears are watering the soil of joy. Let the words of this psalm sink deep into your being, not as distant scripture but as a living, breathing promise. God's hands are already at work, altering the course of your life. Trust the unseen, for it is more real than the seen. Your time has come, get ready, for the course of your life is changing before your very eyes. You stand on the brink of a divine shift, a moment where the invisible becomes visible, where promises once whispered in the silence of your heart take form in your life. Psalm 30:11 is not just a scripture, it is a declaration from the Creator Himself. It is a reminder that the same power that spoke light into existence is now moving in your favor. Can you feel it? The currents of change are stirring. God's work in your life is not limited by what you see or understand. The natural mind may wrestle with doubt, asking, how can this be? How can my mourning turn to dancing, my burdens transform into gladness? But faith operates on a higher law, one that defies logic and dismantles impossibilities. It asks you to see with your inner eye, the eye of your spirit, which perceives what is not yet visible. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the truth of these words, you have turned my mourning into dancing. Do not merely hear them, embody them. Imagine the heaviness you've carried for so long melting away. See yourself dancing not timidly, but with unrestrained joy, as one who has seen the hand of God alter the fabric of their reality. This dance is not just a metaphor, it is a manifestation of the freedom that is already yours in spirit, waiting to unfold in your life. Every experience of pain, every moment of loss was not wasted. They were the chisels in the hands of the master sculptor, shaping you into a vessel ready to receive his glory. The tears you've cried, the prayers you've whispered in the stillness of night, they were not ignored. Each one was a seed planted in the soil of divine timing. And now the season of harvest is upon you. Do not dismiss the small beginnings, for within them lies the potential of great transformation. As the psalmist declares, God has loosed your sackcloth and girded you with gladness. Sackcloth, the symbol of mourning and repentance, is not your eternal garment. It was a temporary covering, necessary for a season, but never meant to define you. Gladness, on the other hand, is your inheritance. It is not fragile or fleeting, it is rooted in the eternal nature of God himself. You are being clothed in joy, not as an accessory, but as your very essence. To prepare for this transformation, you must align your thoughts with the reality of God's promise. Every time doubt arises, every time circumstances seem unchanged, remind yourself of the truth. God is not bound by time or space. What looks delayed to you is perfectly on schedule in his plan. Your role is not to figure out the how, but to trust the one who holds the blueprint of your life. Visualize the course of your life shifting. See the obstacles before you crumbling, the doors that seemed sealed shut swinging wide open. Feel the weight lifting off your shoulders, replaced by a lightness that comes from knowing the Creator of the universe is orchestrating every detail for your good. Faith is not passive, it is an active force. Speak as though the change has already come. Act as though you are already walking in the promise. There is power in gratitude, even before the manifestation occurs. When you thank God for what you have not yet seen, you affirm your belief in his ability to bring it to pass. Gratitude is the language of faith, and it creates a resonance with the divine. Begin now to give thanks not just for the blessings you can see, but for the ones yet to unfold. Thank him for turning your mourning into dancing, for clothing you with gladness, for changing the course of your life. The world may look at you and see someone unchanged, someone still in the midst of their struggles. But do not be discouraged. The transformation begins within, in the unseen realm of your spirit. The outward change is merely a reflection of the inner shift. Hold steadfast to the vision of your life transformed, even when the evidence is not yet apparent. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. God's timing is perfect, even when it feels uncomfortable. The waiting season is not a punishment, but a preparation. In the waiting, your faith is strengthened, your character refined, your vision clarified. Trust that he knows the exact moment when the promise will unfold, the precise second when your mourning will turn to dancing. Until then, rest in the assurance that it is already done in the Spirit. You are not alone in this journey. The same God who turned David's mourning into dancing is working on your behalf. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. His nature does not change, and his promises do not falter. When he says he will turn your mourning into dancing, it is not a suggestion, it is a certainty. When he declares that he has girded you with gladness, it is not a wish, it is a fact. Do not let the voices of doubt or fear distract you from this truth. The enemy would have you believe that your situation is permanent, that your sorrow is your identity. But the enemy is a liar, and the truth is found in God's word. You are not defined by your pain or your past. You are defined by the one who calls you his own, the one who has declared that your time has come. Take a moment to feel the shift. Can you sense it? The old is falling away and the new is emerging. The course of your life is changing, not by your might or power, but by the Spirit of the living God. Embrace it. Dance in the Spirit, even if your feet have yet to move. Rejoice in your heart, even if your circumstances have yet to change. The transformation is already underway, and nothing can stop what God has ordained. You are not here by accident. These words have reached you because God is speaking directly to your spirit. He is calling you to rise, to prepare, to get ready for the new season He is ushering into your life. Do not shrink back in fear or hesitation. Step boldly into the promise, knowing that the one who has begun a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. The dance of joy is not just for a moment, it is for a lifetime. The gladness that God is clothing you with is not temporary, it is eternal. Hold on to this truth, no matter what the world may say. For God's word is the final authority, and His plans for you are good. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Your time has truly come. The divine clock has struck the moment of transformation, and nothing in heaven or on earth can hinder what God has already set into motion. His word spoken through Psalm 30:11 is not a mere possibility, it is an assurance. Every syllable carries the power to reshape your life, to draw you from mourning to dancing, from despair to hope, from doubt to unshakable faith. You are standing on holy ground, a sacred juncture where the old fades into the new and where the promises of God ignite into reality. Begin to realize that this moment was not birthed from coincidence or chance. It was orchestrated from the foundations of the world. The struggles you have faced, the nights you thought would never end, were not detours but essential parts of your journey. They were tools refining you, preparing you, molding you into the vessel capable of holding the abundant joy and gladness that God is pouring into your life. Trust this process, for God wastes nothing. Every tear, every question, every sigh was heard and accounted for. Nothing escapes His notice, and nothing is ever lost in His hands. Faith is your anchor now. It is the bridge between what is and what shall be. Look beyond what your natural eyes can see, for the physical realm is but a shadow of the true reality. The unseen realm, where faith operates, is where God's promises are birthed. Do not measure your future by your past or even by your present circumstances. Instead, measure it by the boundless power of God, who is able to do exceedingly, abundantly above all you can ask or imagine. In this moment, let your imagination become a sanctuary. See yourself in the place of promise. Visualize the dance of joy that is already yours. Picture the lightness in your step, the laughter that fills your soul, the radiance on your face as you walk in the fullness of God's blessings. Your imagination is not just a tool, it is a divine gift, a canvas on which the promises of God are painted. Dwell in this vision until it becomes more real to you than the struggles you have known. Transformation begins in your heart and mind. It is an inside-out process. The world may look at you and see no change, but the seed of God's promise is already growing within you. Like a tree hidden within the seed, your future is already encoded within you, waiting to unfold. This is the mystery and majesty of God's work, that He sees the end from the beginning and calls things that are not as though they are. Align yourself with this divine vision. Speak it, believe it, act on it. Joy is not merely an emotion, it is a spiritual state, a fruit of the Spirit that transcends circumstances. The gladness that God is girding you with is not dependent on external factors. It flows from His very presence, a river of life that cannot be dammed. As you step into this joy, you will find that it strengthens you, empowering you to face each day with renewed hope and courage. This joy is your strength, a fortress that no trial can breach. Do not underestimate the power of gratitude in this process. Gratitude is a magnet for miracles. When you give thanks for what you have not yet seen, you align yourself with the frequency of heaven. Gratitude declares, I trust you, God, even when I don't understand. I believe your promises, even when they have not yet manifested, begin now to thank Him for the dancing, the gladness, the transformation that is already unfolding. Let your gratitude rise like incense, filling the throne room of heaven and opening the windows of blessing over your life. This change is not only for you but for those connected to you. Your transformation is a testimony, a living epistle read by others. As God turns your mourning into dancing, those around you will see His glory in your life. They will be drawn to the source of your joy, to the one who has worked such a miraculous change. In this way, your life becomes a beacon, a light that leads others to the truth of God's goodness and faithfulness. Every obstacle you faced, every battle you fought, has been preparing you for this moment. The resistance you've encountered was not meant to break you, but to strengthen you, to refine your faith, and to deepen your trust in God. Now, as the course of your life shifts, you will look back and see that every step, even the painful ones, was part of a divine choreography, leading you to this dance of joy. God's timing is precise, and His ways are higher than ours. You may not understand why certain seasons lasted as long as they did, but trust that He was working all things together for your good. Even now, He is aligning circumstances, moving people, opening doors, and orchestrating events in ways you cannot yet see. Your role is to stay in faith, to keep your eyes fixed on Him, and to prepare your heart for the outpouring of His blessings. Preparation is an act of faith. It says, I believe so deeply in God's promise that I will act as though it is already fulfilled, begin to make room for the new thing God is doing. Release the old mindsets, the limiting beliefs, and the fears that have held you back. Open your hands and your heart to receive what He is pouring out. The course of your life is changing, and you must be ready to walk in the fullness of what God has for you. As you prepare, remember that this transformation is not about striving or earning. It is a gift, a manifestation of God's grace and love. Your role is not to force the change, but to surrender to it, to trust in the one who is making all things new. Rest in His promises, knowing that He is faithful, and that His word will never return void. There is a rhythm to God's work, a divine flow that carries you from one season to the next. Do not resist this flow, but yield to it, trusting that it is leading you to a place of greater joy and fulfillment. Let go of the need to control or understand every detail. God's ways are beyond our comprehension, but His heart is always for our good. Trust in His character, in His love, and in His perfect plans for your life. As you step into this new season, keep your heart aligned with God's word. Let Psalm 30:11 be your anthem, a declaration of the transformation that is taking place. Speak it over your life daily, allowing its truth to take root in your spirit. Meditate on it, let it fill your mind and your heart, and watch as it shapes your reality. The dance of joy is not just for a moment, it is the beginning of a new way of living. It is a testament to the faithfulness of God, a reminder that He is always working on your behalf, even when you cannot see it. Embrace this dance, this gladness, this transformation. It is your inheritance as a child of God, and it is the fulfillment of His promise to you. The work of God in your life is unfolding even now, in ways that defy natural understanding. Each moment, each breath carries you closer to the manifestation of His promises. This truth is not contingent on how things appear, but on the immovable word of God. His word says He has turned your mourning into dancing. This is not a promise of someday, it is a declaration of now. In the spiritual realm, it is already done, and your faith is the bridge that brings it into your experience. Faith does not wait for evidence. Faith creates evidence. It sees beyond the veil of time and circumstance, declaring that what God has spoken is as good as done. When you step into this faith, you align yourself with the truth of God's word, and His power begins to work through you. You become a vessel through which His promises flow into the world. Every step you take in faith is a step into the new reality God has prepared for you. The course of your life is not determined by what has been, but by what is to come. God's plan for you is not bound by your past mistakes, failures, or limitations. He is the God of new beginnings, and His mercies are new every morning. When He declares a new season, it does not matter what lies behind you. What matters is the path He is laying before you. Step into that path with confidence, knowing that He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. Begin to act as if the promise is already fulfilled. Speak as though the transformation has already occurred. Walk as though the joy, the dancing, the gladness is already yours. This is not pretense, it is alignment with the truth of God's Word. Your actions, your words, and your thoughts are powerful tools in the manifestation of His promises. They are the outward expressions of your faith, the evidence of things not yet seen. Do not be discouraged if the world around you does not immediately reflect the change you know is happening within you. Transformation begins in the unseen, in the spiritual realm, before it becomes visible in the physical. Just as a seed takes time to grow beneath the soil before it breaks through into the light, so too does the work of God in your life. Trust the process and hold fast to your faith, for the harvest is certain. Surround yourself with reminders of God's faithfulness. Let the Word of God fill your heart and mind, crowding out doubt and fear. Speak His promises over your life, declaring them with boldness and conviction. When doubt tries to creep in, return to the truth of Psalm 30:11, and let its words anchor your soul. You have turned my mourning into dancing, speak it, until it becomes the reality of your heart, until it shapes the way you see the world and your place in it. The joy God is bringing into your life is not a fleeting emotion, but a deep, abiding state of being. It is a joy that comes from knowing who He is and who you are in Him. It is a joy that no circumstance can take away, because it is rooted in the eternal, unchanging nature of God. As you step into this joy, you will find that it transforms not only your heart but also your perspective. You will see your life, your challenges, and your future through the lens of His goodness and faithfulness. God's timing is perfect, and His plans for you are good. Even when you cannot see the full picture, trust that He is working all things together for your good. He is the master weaver, intricately threading every moment of your life into a beautiful tapestry of His glory. The struggles you have faced are not wasted, they are the dark threads that give contrast and depth to the brighter colors of His promises fulfilled. Trust that the hands of the Master are guiding every thread, and that the final masterpiece will be more glorious than you can imagine. In this season of transformation, guard your heart and mind against distractions. The enemy would love to steal your joy, to sow seeds of doubt and fear, to convince you that nothing is changing. But you are not called to live by sight, you are called to live by faith. Fix your eyes on Jesus, the author and finisher of your faith, and let His truth drown out every lie. Stand firm on the promises of God, knowing that they are yes and amen in Christ. Your transformation is not just for your benefit, but for the glory of God. As He turns your mourning into dancing, as He girds you with gladness, your life becomes a testimony of His power and grace. Those around you will see the change and be drawn to the one who made it possible. Your story will inspire others to believe, to hope, and to trust in the God who can do all things. In this way, your life becomes a light in the darkness, a beacon pointing others to the truth of His love. Celebrate this season of transformation. Rejoice in the knowledge that your time has come, that God is changing the course of your life. Let your joy be a reflection of your faith, a declaration of your trust in His promises. Dance in the freedom He has given you, knowing that the chains of your past have been broken. Embrace the gladness He has placed within you, knowing that it is a gift from the one who loves you with an everlasting love. Let this moment mark the beginning of a new chapter in your life, a chapter written by the hand of God. Trust Him to lead you, to guide you, to bring you into the fullness of His plans for you. Step into this season with confidence, knowing that He is with you every step of the way. And as you walk this path, let your life be a song of praise, a testimony of His goodness, and a reflection of His glory. Your life is not a random sequence of events, nor is it dictated by circumstances or the opinions of others. It is shaped by the divine will of God, who has set you apart for a purpose far greater than you can comprehend. His word assures you that your mourning will be turned into dancing, and this is the very nature of His love, a love that transforms, renews, and lifts. Every detail of your journey has been crafted to bring you closer to the fullness of His promise, even when the path seems unclear or overwhelming. The turning point in your life begins the moment you believe that it has already arrived. This belief is not born of wishful thinking but of trust in the unchanging character of God. He does not lie, nor does he fail. If he has said it, it will surely come to pass. Your role is to align your heart, your thoughts, and your actions with his word. Speak life over your circumstances. Declare his promises boldly and without hesitation. Each word of faith spoken from your mouth is a seed planted in the fertile soil of God's timing. Do not allow the weight of the past to define your future. God specializes in rewriting stories and creating beauty from ashes. What has been lost will be restored, and what has been broken will be made whole. You may feel unworthy or inadequate, but God sees you through the lens of his grace. He calls you his beloved, his chosen, his masterpiece. It is his strength working through your weakness that brings about the transformation you desire. Let go of self-doubt and lean fully into his power. Even now, God is orchestrating events in your life to bring about his perfect will. What seems like delay is actually preparation. He is aligning people, opportunities, and circumstances to ensure that when the time comes, everything will fall into place seamlessly. Trust in his timing, for it is never too early nor too late. The creator of time himself knows exactly when and how to bring his plans for you into fruition. Your faith is the bridge between the spiritual realm and your physical reality. When you stand firm in faith, declaring and believing the promises of God, you activate his power in your life. This power is not limited by what you see or feel. It is boundless, eternal, and unwavering. Faith is not moved by the opinions of others or the challenges of the moment. It holds steady, like a lighthouse guiding you through the storm, lighting the path ahead with the assurance of God's unchanging truth. Picture yourself already living in the reality of his promise. Imagine the joy, the peace, and the freedom that comes with knowing that God has turned your mourning into dancing. Feel the gladness that comes from being surrounded by his love and care. This is not mere visualization, it is a spiritual exercise in aligning your inner world with the truth of God's word. When your mind and heart are filled with this vision, your actions will naturally follow suit, and the world around you will begin to reflect the transformation taking place within. Every setback you've experienced has been a setup for your comeback. Every tear you've cried has been seen by the one who holds your life in his hands. Nothing you have endured has been in vain, for God uses all things to work together for your good. The lessons you've learned, the strength you've gained, and the character you've developed through trials are all part of the foundation he is building for your future. You are not defined by your struggles, you are refined by them. As you step into this new season, do so with an attitude of gratitude. Thank God not only for what he has already done, but also for what he is about to do. Gratitude is a powerful force that opens the door for blessings to flow into your life. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, from fear to faith, from doubt to trust. Let every moment of gratitude be a declaration of your confidence in God's goodness and faithfulness. The enemy will try to whisper lies into your ear, convincing you that nothing is changing, that God has forgotten you, or that you are not worthy of his blessings. Do not entertain these thoughts for a moment. They are not from God, and they have no power unless you give them power. Counter every lie with the truth of his word. Speak it out loud, write it down, meditate on it until it becomes the loudest voice in your life. The word of God is your weapon, your shield, and your guide. Faith is the foundation upon which all transformation begins. It is the unwavering belief in what is unseen, the trust in promises not yet fulfilled. Faith is not passive, it is dynamic and alive, shaping the reality you step into. When God declares that your mourning will turn to dancing, this is not just a poetic statement, but a call to activate your faith. You are called to believe it as though it has already come to pass, to hold on to it in your heart until it becomes the reality of your life. Faith invites you to partner with God in the fulfillment of his promises, to see yourself through his eyes, and to act in alignment with his divine plan. The changes God is preparing in your life are not small or insignificant. They are profound and far-reaching, designed to reflect his glory and bring you into the fullness of who you were created to be. These changes may not always be visible at first, but they are happening. Just as the roots of a tree grow deep before its branches reach the sky, so too is God working beneath the surface of your life to establish a firm foundation for your transformation. He is preparing you to bear the weight of His blessings, to stand strong and unshaken as His promises come to fruition. Transformation requires letting go of what no longer serves you. The sackcloth, a symbol of mourning and despair, must be released so that you can be clothed in gladness. This is not merely an external change, but an internal one. It calls for a shift in your mindset, a willingness to let go of past hurts, regrets, and fears. Holding on to these things keeps you anchored in the past, but God is calling you forward. He is asking you to trust Him enough to release what is in your hands so that He can fill them with something far greater. Your words hold the power of life and death, and what you speak over your life matters. Declare His promises over yourself daily. Speak words of hope, joy, and victory, even when your circumstances suggest otherwise. Your words are seeds, and as you sow them in faith, they will take root and grow into the reality God has planned for you. Let your mouth be filled with praise, for praise not only honors God, but also shifts your focus from your struggles to His sufficiency. Praise is a weapon that breaks chains and opens doors, a declaration of your trust in the One who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all you can ask or imagine. God's timing is perfect, even when it seems delayed by human standards. Waiting on God is not a passive act, but an active posture of faith and expectation. In the waiting, God is not absent, He is working. He is refining you, teaching you, and preparing you for what lies ahead. The waiting period is a time of growth, a season in which your faith is strengthened and your character is developed. Do not despise the waiting, for it is in these moments that God often does His greatest work within you. Every challenge you face is an opportunity for God to demonstrate His power. Trials are not the end, but a means to an end. They are the refiner's fire, burning away what is unnecessary so that you can shine brighter than ever before. When you face difficulties, do not ask, "Why me?" but instead ask, "What is God teaching me in this moment?" This perspective shifts your focus from the problem to the provider. It allows you to see your challenges as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. God's word is your anchor in times of uncertainty. When doubts arise, return to His promises. Let them be the rock upon which you stand, unshaken by the storms of life. His word is not just a collection of stories or teachings, it is alive and active, capable of transforming your mind and renewing your spirit. Meditate on it, let it sink deep into your heart, and allow it to guide your thoughts and actions. In doing so, you align yourself with God's will and open the door for His power to work in your life. The joy God promises is not dependent on your circumstances. It is a joy that comes from knowing you are loved, chosen, and secure in Him. This joy is a source of strength, a wellspring that sustains you even in the midst of trials. When you embrace this joy, it becomes a testimony to those around you. It shows that your hope is not in the things of this world, but in the eternal promises of God. Let this joy radiate from you, drawing others to the light of His love. God is not asking you to earn His blessings, they are a gift of His grace. You cannot work for them or deserve them, you can only receive them by faith. This grace is unmerited, undeserved, and unearned, yet it is freely given. It is a reflection of His boundless love for you, a love that is not contingent on your performance but rooted in His character. Accept His grace with humility and gratitude, knowing that it is not about what you can do, but about what He has already done. As you step into this new season, let gratitude be your guiding principle. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from fear to faith. It opens your heart to receive more of God's blessings and reminds you of His faithfulness. Begin and end each day with thanksgiving, acknowledging His hand in every area of your life. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it is a choice, a decision to see the goodness of God even in the smallest details. Your story is a reflection of God's glory. As He transforms your life, let your testimony inspire others to seek Him. Share the goodness of God not as a boast, but as a declaration of His power and love. Your transformation is not just for you, it is a light that shines in the darkness, a beacon of hope for those who are searching for meaning and purpose. Let your life be a living testimony of what is possible when you place your trust in God. God's plans for you are far greater than anything you could imagine. He sees the end from the beginning and knows exactly what you need to fulfill your purpose. Trust in His wisdom, even when His plans do not align with your expectations. He is the master weaver, intricately working all things together for your good. Surrender your desires, your plans, and your timing to Him, and watch as He exceeds your wildest dreams. As you journey forward, remember that you are not alone. God walks with you every step of the way, guiding you, protecting you, and providing for you. His presence is your greatest assurance, a constant reminder that you are deeply loved and never forsaken. Lean into His presence, for it is there that you will find peace, strength, and direction. When you feel weak, remember that His strength is made perfect in your weakness. When you feel lost, remember that He is the Good Shepherd, leading you beside still waters and restoring your soul. You are on the brink of something extraordinary. The turning point has arrived and your time has come. Hold fast to the promises of God, for they are the foundation upon which your future is built. Let your faith be unshakable, your hope unwavering, and your joy uncontainable. The God who began a good work in you is faithful to complete it. Believe it, receive it, and walk into the fullness of His plans with boldness and confidence. God's plan for you is not just about you, it is about His glory being revealed through your life. As He turns your mourning into dancing, your story becomes a testament to His power and love. Those around you will see the change and be inspired to seek Him for themselves. Your transformation is a light that shines in the darkness, drawing others to the one who has brought it to pass. Embrace this calling with humility and joy, knowing that your life is part of a greater purpose. You may not know exactly how or when the shift will happen, but you can be certain that it will. The God who promised is faithful to fulfill His word. Hold on to this truth with everything you have, letting it guide your thoughts, your actions, and your prayers. When doubt tries to creep in, return to Psalm 30:11 and let its words anchor you. You have turned my mourning into dancing. You have loosed my sackcloth and clothed me with gladness. This is not just a verse, it is your reality in Christ. Take time to reflect on the ways God has already shown His faithfulness in your life. Each answered prayer, each moment of grace, and each blessing is a reminder that He is with you and for you. Let these memories fuel your faith as you move forward. If He has been faithful before, He will be faithful again. His character does not change, and His love for you is unending. The course of your life is being redirected by the hand of God. What once seemed impossible is now within reach, because nothing is too hard for Him. Your part is to believe, to trust, and to act in alignment with His promises. As you do, you will see the evidence of His power and love in every area of your life. The joy, the dancing, and the gladness are not just ahead of you, they are here, waiting for you to step into them. As you stand on the threshold of this new season, remember that God's promises are not mere words, they are unshakable truths. The course of your life is being transformed by the one who holds all power in His hands. Your mourning has already been turned into dancing. Your sackcloth has been replaced with garments of gladness. This is your time, a moment ordained by God to showcase His love and faithfulness in your life. Step forward with unwavering faith, knowing that the Creator of the universe is guiding your steps. Speak His promises boldly, envision the joy He has prepared for you, and live as though the transformation has already occurred. Let your life reflect His glory and inspire others to seek the same hope, the same joy, and the same transformation. God has already declared it, your time has come. Believe it, embrace it, and walk into the fullness of His plans with confidence and gratitude, for He is faithful to complete the good work He has begun in you.